Welcome to Step Up English channel. So, um, did you know that when you translate a sentence in your head before speaking, your brain can actually burn up to 30% more glucose than a native speaker's brain?
Yeah, it's wild. You are physically burning more energy.
Right. I mean, no wonder you feel completely exhausted after just a 5-minute conversation in English. You're not just tired, your brain is genuinely depleted.
Exactly. And we are pulling from a really fascinating stack of linguistics research and cognitive behavioral studies today.
Yeah.
And the data shows exactly why that exhaustion happens. When you translate, you are essentially forcing your brain to do two full-time jobs at the exact same moment.
Oh, wow. 2 jobs at once.
Yeah. You're pulling vocabulary from one system, then running it through a complex set of grammar rules in a second system, and then you're trying to push it out into the real world.
Which is so much work. And our mission for this deep dive is to explore how to stop doing that.
Right.
We really want to help you, the listener, break that exhausting habit of translating every single word before you speak.
It is so exhausting.
It really is. So based on the research, we're going to walk through 6 specific steps to train your brain to think directly in English. And we're going to keep our English simple and clear today, so you can easily follow along and just start using these concepts immediately.
Sounds perfect.
But before we get to the steps, I mean, the whole translation thing is kind of like a computer trying to run with way too many programs open, right?
Right, that is a great way to put it.
Yeah, and it just makes you freeze up and you miss the moment. So why does translating directly from our native language sometimes make us sound so unnatural in English?
Well, to understand how to fix the problem, we have to look at the mechanics of what your working memory is doing.
Okay.
Let's say someone asks you a question. First, your brain catches the English words. Then, it translates them into your native language so you actually understand the question.
Right, that's step 1.
Then, you build your answer in your native language. And finally, you search for the English words to match your native answer.
And by the time you finally push those English words out of your mouth, I mean, the real conversation has already moved on.
Exactly. It's too late.
You miss the chance to laugh at the joke, or you miss the chance to answer the question. It's like you are constantly living 5 seconds in the past.
Yeah, that lag time is definitely the enemy of natural conversation, but the translation habit causes another major problem too.
What's that?
Direct translation creates really awkward mistakes because languages just do not map together perfectly word by word.
Right, of course.
For example, in many languages, if you feel cold, you say something that directly translates to "I have cold."
Oh, yeah.
But if you say "I have cold" in English, it sounds like you are sick with a virus.
Right. You sound like you're sneezing and coughing.
Exactly. It sounds completely unnatural because the cultural meaning is just lost in translation.
So we have to completely bypass that translation process. We can't just try to translate faster. We have to stop translating entirely.
Yes, stop completely.
But where do we even begin to reprogram a habit that deep? I mean, it seems like trying to write complex, beautiful paragraphs in a new language right away would just cause a total mental crash.
Oh, it absolutely causes a crash. The linguistic studies show we cannot start with complex ideas. We have to start with the physical, concrete world right in front of us.
Okay, so step 1.
Step 1, the very first action you need to take is naming the physical objects around you in English.
Just naming things.
Right. So look around the room you are sitting in right now. Do not think of the word in your native language. Look directly at the physical object and attach the English word to it.
Like bed, window, lamp, phone.
Exactly. And once you can do that, you expand this to simple actions. Instead of just thinking cup, you think, I am drinking coffee from my cup.
Okay, that makes sense.
And a huge rule here, you have to leave grammar rules behind. Native speakers don't think about grammar while talking. Overthinking grammar just stops the natural flow of thought.
So you're basically trying to build a direct bridge between your visual cortex, what your eyes see, and the English word, with no native language in the middle.
Yes, exactly.
But wait, what happens if you are looking at an object and you simply don't know the English word for it?
That happens a lot.
I mean, is it like putting invisible sticky notes on everything in your house?
Yeah.
And if a sticky note is blank, what do? Does the exercise fail?
No, I actually love that sticky note analogy. But this is where most learners get trapped. They think a missing word on that sticky note means they have to go back to their native language to look it up.
Right, they grab their phone and translate it.
Yes. But instead, the cognitive studies suggest a technique called circumlocution.
Circumlocution, okay.
Yeah, basically, you describe the object using the simple English words you already know.
Oh, interesting.
Let's say you're looking at the refrigerator, but you don't know the word refrigerator. Do not translate. Just look at it and describe it, like a cold box where I keep food.
A cold box where I keep food.
Wow. You're navigating around the missing word, but you are still staying entirely inside the English language.
Exactly. You kept the system running. You didn't break the English mode.
That is so smart. Okay, so once you have labeled the world around you, I guess the next logical phase is putting those labels into action.
Right, step 2.
But what do you do when you need to learn new vocabulary for those actions?
For step 2, you need to talk to yourself out loud.
Out loud.
Yes, out loud. You narrate your life. You can do this while you are cooking dinner, walking outside, or even in the shower. You simply say what you are doing. I'm putting on my shoes. I am making tea.
I know exactly how some listeners might react to that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Walking around an empty house talking to yourself out loud feels a bit strange. It feels kind of silly, like a stage actor doing a private rehearsal before a big play.
It does. It feels totally strange at first, but doing this alone actually removes the fear of making mistakes because nobody is listening.
Right, there's no pressure. Exactly. And the other reason this is so important, your mouth, your lips, your tongue, they all have muscles.
Right.
And speaking English requires you to use those muscles in completely different ways than your native language does. Rehearsing out loud is literally the only way to build that physical muscle memory. It's a workout.
A workout for your face. I love that. But this brings up a challenge. As you narrate your life, you are going to discover you are missing a lot of vocabulary.
Oh, definitely.
So how do we learn those new words without breaking our English-only rule?
That brings us to step 3. You change the tools you use to learn. You switch completely to an English-to-English dictionary.
Wait, really?
Yes, it is a massive game changer.
But if I'm a beginner and I don't know the word, reading a definition in English sounds incredibly frustrating. Wouldn't that just cause more confusion?
It causes a little friction at first, sure. But think about a standard translation dictionary. You look up the word excited, and it gives you the exact word in your native language. You have just reinforced the translation habit. You told your brain that the only way to understand English is through your native language.
Ah, so you're making the native language superhighway stronger instead of building a new English path.
Precisely. But if you use an English-to-English dictionary, you look up excited and you read feeling very happy and eager.
Okay.
Now your brain is connecting this new word to other English words you already know, like happy. You completely bypass your native language.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we are naming objects. We are talking to ourselves out loud to build physical muscle memory, and we are using an English dictionary.
Exactly.
So now that we have those labels, it is time to turn those skills inward and structure our private thoughts.
Yes, step 4.
And this is a common learner trap, isn't it? We want to sound smart, so we immediately try to use big, complex sentences in our heads.
It's a huge trap. Because we are adults, we have complex, intelligent thoughts in our native language.
Right. If I'm planning my day, my native inner voice says, I should probably go to the store around 5 o'clock because I need to buy some fresh vegetables for the dinner party tonight.
But if you try to build that whole sentence in English inside your head, your brain freezes again.
Yeah. I mean, it's like trying to do tricks on a bicycle before you have even learned to ride with training wheels.
That's a perfect analogy. The cognitive load is simply too high. Language is absorbed in small blocks or chunks.
Chunks, okay.
So step 4 is to think in simple sentences first. Instead of thinking that huge sentence about the dinner party, just train your brain to think, I need vegetables.
I need vegetables. Just keep it super simple.
Exactly. Starting small is how you build a permanent neural pathway.
So how do we actively walk that pathway during the day?
That leads to step 5, which is developing an English inner voice. You turn your internal daily planning into a little English dialogue.
Oh, like asking yourself questions.
Yes. You ask yourself questions in your head, like, what should I do first? Maybe breakfast, or how do I feel today?
I can imagine this being a bit tiring at first, though. The brain will just want to jump back to the native language because it is easier.
It will, and progress is slow. You must be patient and kind to your brain as it builds this new inner voice. You do it in short bursts.
Okay, so we had this new little English inner voice started, but to keep it alive, it needs constant fuel.
Yes, it needs a lot of fuel.
Because you cannot just use English for 20 minutes when you are studying and then ignore it the rest of the day. It has to become the background noise of your life.
Exactly. Which brings us to step 6. Surround yourself with the language. In language acquisition, we call this input.
Input. like listening and watching things.
Right. Listening and watching feeds your brain. The more English your brain hears in the background, the more it will naturally start to adopt the rhythm and structure of the language.
Immersion is a big word. When a lot of people hear immersion, they think it means they have to pack their bags and move to an English-speaking country.
Oh, no, you definitely don't need to do that. You can build an English ecosystem right where you are.
How do we do that?
The easiest way is changing your technology. Change your phone and computer settings to English.
Oh, right, because we look at our phones hundreds of times a day.
Exactly. You already know where all the buttons are, so you learn the vocabulary through context.
That makes total sense.
And then listen to simple songs and watch videos. But the golden rule here is to keep it focused on things you genuinely enjoy.
Like what kind of things?
If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you like sports or travel, watch those videos. This makes the immersion feel like fun, not work.
Right. But what if the videos or movies are just too fast? Like the words sound like a blur. I mean, it feels like swimming in the deep end of the pool too soon.
It can definitely feel like that, but my biggest advice here is not to worry about catching every single word.
Really? Just let it go.
Yes, watch videos where the action matches the words.
Oh, like the cooking video.
Exactly. If a chef says, I cut the tomato at the exact same moment they're physically cutting a tomato, your brain gets it.
Because your eyes do the translating for you.
Yes. Let your brain absorb the rhythm and music of the language naturally without panicking over missed words.
Okay, so let's briefly recap these 6 steps for you. First, name objects around you. Then talk to yourself out loud. Third, use an English-to-English dictionary.
Fourth, start with simple sentences. Fifth, build that inner voice by asking yourself questions. And sixth, surround yourself with English input that you actually enjoy.
This is such a solid roadmap. But before we wrap up, I just want to say making mistakes during this process is going to happen.
Right. Oh, completely normal. In fact, making mistakes actually proves that you are learning. A mistake means your brain is attempting to build a new connection.
Right. So don't get discouraged.
Never. Just 10 to 15 minutes of these exercises a day will make thinking in English an automatic habit.
Wow. Just 10 to 15 minutes. Well, we are almost out of time, but I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question to ponder today.
Oh, I love these.
So, we know that language shapes the way we see the world.
Right. Linguistic relativity.
Exactly. It frames your reality.
Mm.
So if you use these 6 steps and you successfully train your inner voice to think entirely in a new language, how might that actually change your personality?
Oh, wow.
Right? How might it change your emotions or the very way you experience reality on a daily basis? Who is the English-thinking version of you going to be?
That is a fascinating thing to think about.
It really is.
Yeah.
Spend some time thinking about that. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.